Because she's the killer. Alright, well...
Hey guys, welcome to Gamers Without a Pause. Tonight, this is Justin, Gopher, and Trooper.
Is that what you want, Gopher?
I'm a bagel.
Gopher Bagel.
I'm a bagel.
We've not done a podcast in a while. Mainly because we tried it multiple times and
Wait,
then...
you're not actually...
Yeah. I'm not actually what?
You're not actually using this part. I was asking what you were doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm using this
No,
part.
Don't actually use
Welcome to the podcast.
No, you better restart that.
Justin, tell me about your day. We're going to
work.
have small talk.
Don't use that.
I'm using it.
Woke up, took a shower, went to work. I put in my time.
I need to know if you're serious.
I'm serious. We're doing the podcast. Welcome to the Gamers Without a
You can't
Pause
just push me
podcast.
off the cliff and tell me to fly.
That's exactly what I'm
I
doing.
was just bored.
Fly, bitch.
Go, Kratos.
Go, Kratos.
Fly, bitch. Kratos.
Yeah, remember God of War just jumps off the cliff.
Oh, yeah, that meme I always see.
I will say one thing. That is my favorite of anybody trying to fall to their death. Like, it's not even a hop or anything like that. It's just like a weird, like, someone cropping him forward.
I was
off
about
the
to say,
cliff.
I
Like
always...
steps off.
I was gonna say I always like the one from Skyward Sword, but he's not trying to jump.
It's the one from Skyward.
He's just jumping for the sky from Skyloft.
Doesn't Zelda, like, push him off a cliff at one point in that game?
Yeah, not the cliff. He's pushed off the statue of Hylia. But that's it.
Yeah, he's just like, fly, you stupid bitch!
No, there's the one time he goes down to the bottom and then what's his name? God dang it. Groot. Not Groot.
Groot, the Guardians.
The other guy. Oh, I'm gonna get killed
Groose.
for that. Is
Gro-
that is
yeah,
it Groose?
it's Groose.
Goosey Goose, silly goose.
Yeah, the guy who's like, "Rrrr."
Yeah, he's like falling behind him, and he looks up, and he's like, "Oh!" Everybody knows the meme.
So what has Justin been doing lately?
Not a lot. I've been working. I just finished the new Vampire Survivors DLC with the Among Us crossover. That was pretty fun, actually.
Wait, okay, hang on. That just broke my brain. I don't pay attention to Vampire Survivor Among Us crossover.
Yeah, they
Amogus.
had an Among Us crossover. So like the first map, the main one,
Uh-huh.
they put that into the game, and then they have 6 of the crew members. Plus, you can play as like the main imposter.
Okay.
And they all have different abilities. Like, I'm surprised that like you can like vent. You have like the anything you do in that game is like an item that you can use to attack with, and then you get like little crew members that follow you around and power you up. Pretty cool.
Timeline are we living in? First it was
It's
freaking
fun.
Thanos in Fortnite, now it's
Dude,
freaking...
everyone's in Fortnite now.
That's true.
Fucking Chris Redfield.
Among Us is even in Fortnite.
Among Us is in Fortnite? Oh,
Correct.
Jesus Christ.
And then I finished the Pokemon DLC. So I've been finishing up DLCs mainly. I haven't really played anything new, main game wise. But
What are you, Judge?
Persona 3.
Persona 3?
how you liking that?
I'm liking it like a werewolf.
What is liking? I almost didn't catch myself.
Like terrible. Jesus Christ.
No, I've seen really good things,
Yeah,
and
it's-
I've seen like the comparisons, and the fan base seems to really like it. So
Oh, yeah.
I will admit one thing. I saw
Can
some...
actually do stuff at night now.
I saw some, like, weird back and forth where some people were like, oh, they've ruined it, and other people were like, it's the best thing ever, so I think that's funny. Me personally, though, with as much more voice acting as they shoved into it, I find that that'd be nicer, because sometimes I get bored reading text boxes.
yeah, I mean, it feels like they really cared. Like they gave it like the Persona 5 treatment. Like it wasn't just like, here it is again with HD textures. Like
I
they
don't
went
know.
the full way.
Yeah, I don't know how this will sound, but it looks to me almost like the new standard for quintessential anime game. Like, you know, that, like, anime style, like, basically 3D game that you normally see. It's everything from, like, Akiba Strip to literally, like, the
Code
Tales
Vein.
of series and Code Vein and stuff like that.
There's so many games that look just like Code Vein. but
Yeah, like to me,
that's
it
the one
looked.
thing I
Oh,
really
isn't
like.
anime just anime?
I mean, in all fairness, yeah.
You look at Atlas games and you get oh crap, can't remember their names.
They have their style.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Soichi Mai has his own style.
Yeah,
Cosmic Hanako, that's a big
that's
one.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Cosmic Hanako is a big reason why like the Megami Tensei series stuck out to me personally.
I mean, like anytime I see like Persona or Shin Megami, especially Shin Megami Tensei art, I can definitely tell like, oh, that's from that series.
Yeah,
as
you
opposed to,
you
like,
can immediately
Any
go,
other
yes.
anime, yeah, I can. It would be one of the two, and I can definitely be like, that's from that stuff.
Yeah.
That's,
Oh yeah.
It's an Atlas game.
By the way, that what is it? It's Yamatakai or whatever the hell his name is. The giant like humanoid cat that lives in that lady's apartment. Did you guys actually get around to like? I showed you that anime and you guys were like, oh.
no, I just seen the one episode you showed me, and that's it.
I don't know why, but that like has been my new like guilty pleasure is like catching a few episodes of that. Like the two things I've been doing lately is I don't know why I've been on such an insane Final Fantasy kick lately, but it's like the two things I'm doing is watching that anime because I'm waiting for more episodes of Way of the House Husband, and then I'm just sitting there watching this, and I'm just like, this is nice. This is the type of slice of life anime I actually like.
Now, when it comes to shows, I've finished Has-Been Hotel and finally a Hell of a Boss, but
I have still yet to watch Has Been Hotel. Like,
I
good.
haven't watched it either.
I got my district manager to watch it.
uh-huh.
I recommended it, and he finished it over the weekend. He's like, I love it, and I was like, well, I asked how he liked it. He's like, I love it. I'm actually listening to the soundtrack right now while I'm doing orders for you guys.
Yeah, I literally, I think I have like 3 episodes of Hell of a Boss that I haven't seen, which is the last 3.
Mhm.
But other than
I
that,
haven't even looked at season 2 yet.
Season
Okay.
2, episode 5 is weird, but it's good. I like the final episode on there right now.
Mm.
Pretty good.
okay. Yeah, no, for me though, it's been all cats and all Final Fantasy 14 lately. It's just
Cats and Final Fantasy.
that in the middle of doing other side projects.
Yeah, I was in the middle of my Dragon Age series playthrough, and then Persona 3 came out. I'm like, oh, gotta stop doing that.
Yeah, I got a kick on. I'm
Pretty
like,
good.
this is the day we'll do the podcast. You're like, Persona 3 comes out. We can't start doing a podcast again right then and there.
You had 3 days. Or, yeah, no. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, you want
And
to
you
do
had
something
4
Friday?
days.
Yeah, Friday night
Oh,
was originally
yeah.
when we were trying to push for it. And
Yeah,
It's
about
like-
that.
Persona. I'm like, okay.
I can't blame you.
Work sucked Thursday, work sucked today. I'm going and playing some goddamn
That's all
Persona
you had to
3.
look forward to.
That is all I
The
had.
only thing that keeps me alive at night.
Grabbed myself a nice 6-pack of Angry Orchard Green Apple, and I sat down with some Persona 3 and played way too much of that.
How many hours you put into it already? You think?
Oh. According to the game files, 13, 14 hours.
13,
I was
14
expecting
hours.
more from you, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I was expecting to hear like, oh, only like 35 hours.
Like, if I beat it 5 times. How long is the game the same length? Well, I don't know. Is it padded out because of the dialogue and stuff, or is it about the same length as the original?
I think it's the same.
How long was that?
Persona 3 is like, what, 30 hours?
Oh, that's like 80, 70.
Is
I've never heard of a
I don't
Persona
remember
game
it being that long.
Yeah, the modern Persona games are like 70 plus hours.
Oh, like, I know Persona 5 was long as hell, and it's been...
Unless you freaking auto scroll through everything.
Yeah, and it's been so long
Oh,
since I
like
played...
lore and dialogue.
It's been so long since I played Persona 4 Gold on
If you don't like
PS
lore and
Vita.
dialogue, don't play modern Persona games.
I will also...
That's-
I don't think you should play any RPG at that point.
Yeah.
I will probably not.
Yeah, I will
Maybe
also...
Dark Souls, but-
Wow.
Yeah, I'll also admit though that
Traditional
Persona 4
JRPG.
Gold, I can't really judge time on that because A, it was so long ago and it was on my Vita, and it's also one of those cases where it was the game that you just picked up and played and then put down and came back to later. You weren't really looking at like how much time you clocked on it. I don't even think that tracked it at that time.
I mean,
I think it tracked achievements, but I don't think it tracked playtime.
I know when I was younger, like, I never paid attention to how long I played a game. I just played, and then that's what happened.
Oh, Steam's ruined me for that now because now
Yeah, all this
every
modern
time I
stuff.
look at every time I'm on there, it's like you've played this game 287 hours. And
Now-
it's like, oh,
Yeah, now it makes me
It's like,
interested.
oh, you have 2,500 hours in SFM. What?
Yeah.
yeah, it's like you need help.
If I was
Anyway.
interested, like, looking at my Switch log or anything like that, it's like, yeah, you played 250 hours of Smash or whatever. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know,
I'll
lately
definitely have to check my PS5 because I know for a fact I put more than 12 hours.
It's kind of funny though. Lately, since I've been doing all my stuff on PC, lately I turn on my Switch and it's just like, please come back. Like it's like you played a game 4 months ago.
I'm dusty.
Play the game.
It's like we could play more Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, that's another. Actually, no, I did start a new game. I finally got my collector's edition of Ruby Arrowfell, so I could actually play that, even though it came out last year.
Wait, what was Ruby Arrowfell?
It's made by Way Forward,
Okay.
and
Oh, that game.
yeah, and it's actually canon in season 7. So I'm playing that.
Oh, the Ruby franchise. Okay.
Yeah, it's Ruby, like I said.
Yeah, okay. Oh no, like literally, you said Ruby Arrowfell, and I'm like, are we talking like a
No, Ruby
yeah,
Arrowfell.
yeah. It's like, are we talking like a spin-off from like Xenoblade or something? And it's just like, no, Ruby, and I'm like, oh, okay.
It's pretty though.
I don't know.
I was happy to see a Way Forward make a game for Ruby, so I was like, well, it's got to be better than the Grim
Where's
Eclipse or whatever.
Shantae 6, damn it.
Speaking of that, I wanted to mention that Bloodstained is doing a crossover with Shantae, and you can have her outfit in the new update in 1.5 or whatever that's coming up.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Are we getting another like classic, like not classic, but like a retro version of another Bloodstain? Because I thought we were getting like another.
We had 1
of
and
those.
2. I was just reading on their Facebook about this. They're still working on the the first Bloodstain.
Yeah.
Doing stuff. They're only finishing up like 3 more things, and then they're done with development for this one, and then there's probably going to be a second one.
Okay.
There's no confirmation on the second one.
Because I'm wondering, like, the development history as far as it goes with them making these. I'm wondering if, like, leading up to it to boost revenue, if they're going to do that thing again where they're just like, look, a retro version of Bloodstain.
Okay.
And,
No, they've been really... Credit to the Bloodstain team, because, like, they really put all their heart into the single-player game and then gave out 2 other games that weren't even asked for, and then probably going to be a second one.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, talking about the complete, like, reverse of that, I got a kick out of it because apparently, like, Bethesda gave an update of things they're going to be fixing with, that new game.
Starfield.
Starfield.
When you can't remember the name,
like,
that's a good
like
sign.
it's one of those cases.
It came out. And
It's one of those cases where now even the Bethesda fans are like meeting them online with vitriol, and it's just like Jesus. Apparently, like one of the biggest like modders for the game, he does specializing with doing multiplayer mods for like Skyrim and Fallout 4 and all that. When he was asked like when he was going to do a mod for Starfield for multiplayer, he's like, why would I mod that game?
Yeah, I see the same thing. Like, why would I even bother with this game?
Like, why would I even bother when the developers didn't even bother? And it's just like, wow.
I'll play something more beloved and well known. So, that's fair.
Oh, yeah, but I got a kick out of it. I was BSing with our one buddy, Adam, earlier today. And he's still, like, obsessed with Baldur's Gate 3. Which, I don't blame him, but
Impressive.
at this point, I've gotten 3 different endings on Baldur's Gate 3. Okay?
I still have to finish my Sammy playthrough.
And, but, next thing I know, he sits there and sends me this mod. He goes, dude, it's gonna happen. I'm like, what's gonna happen? Somebody's making a rigging mod for Baldur's Gate 3 for the nudity and sex scenes so that they can make and stage their own sex scenes. I'm like,
hell yeah.
here we go, Baldur's Gate porn everywhere.
I mean, there's already tons of Rule 34.
Yeah, but it's just one of those
Some
cases.
freaking Lae'zel and Karlak action for a long time.
They selling Carlisle.
I just seen a video.
I've seen Karlak a ton. I've seen Shadowheart a ton.
Yeah.
There's no love for Lae'zel.
I seen
God damn
a
it.
TikTok yesterday. It was when you can't afford Baldur's Gate 3, but you have Skyrim modded to hell and back, and it's the Karlak you can get. It's like some hot demon looking chick with like big tits and stuff. It's like, yeah, this is what we have right now. We have Karlak at home.
Carlac. We have Dr. Pibb Carlac.
Oh boy. Dr. Thunder.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, I actually had a lady come in today. She just got into D&D, and one of and I'm sure it's like this for a lot of the people right now. It's kind of cool. Is she got into D&D because of Baldur's Gate 3. She played it, and she's like, I loved it so much, and I wanted to, create my character and play that with my friends. And I was like, that's really cool. I'm sure a lot of people did that. And
I do get a kick out of one thing. One of my friends, actually, in one of my Discord servers, literally were BSing with me, and after they beat Baldur's Gate 3, and they're like, should I try Baldur's Gate 1? And I'm like, I will say personally, I love Baldur's Gate 1. I will also say it is a game that mechanically has not exactly aged the best for somebody who's used to modern gaming. And he's like, I'm going to download it. I'm like, all right, you buy and download it.
Okay.
Literally, I didn't hear anything from him for like a week straight. He had apparently restarted the game trying to play Baldur's Gate 1 like 5 times.
Yeah.
And then he finally got the mechanics down pat. And then I hear from him, he's like, I beat Baldur's Gate 1. I'm like, seriously? He's like, I had to restart it like 8 times. I got about halfway through it and basically soft-locked myself. And then I'm like...
That's impressive he actually beat it.
I'm like, that's dedication that I don't think I would have if somebody put something that, like, out of my range in front of me. Or is like, have you ever played this back in the day? And it's like, no. And I don't want to learn it right now.
I never blame. Like, I know there's those gatekeepers for, like, you know, Fallout, Skyrim, Diablo, Baldur's Gate that are like, oh, you didn't play the originals and stuff. It's like... Yeah, but you can't even Resident Evil, and like any of that stuff. It's like it's so hard to go back after getting the modern version after 20 plus years or whatever.
I will say with
or
us
like
playing
you grew
more
up with it.
Yeah,
like,
I will say us playing more retro games. It's one of those cases where even if somebody puts like a different retro game that's like in our wheelhouse in front of us, we're more acceptable of being like, yeah, we can figure this out.
I can expect like a new 20-year-old that just picked up Baldur's Gate 3 or whatever.
Yeah,
to go back and like. Don't be gatekeepy.
Yeah, but
I like Fallout 4. Well, I like Fallout 1.
Like,
yeah, well, I play Fallout 1, and I'm a purist.
Like, here's the thing. I can't go to you guys and be like, dude, you want to play this RTS? You want to play the original Command and Conquer? Because that's a game series that you guys originally played, because you'll just look at me and be like, oh, God, this is a pain in the ass to control.
I can't even play the original Doom, because I'm sitting there going, why can't I look up?
That bothers me.
That still hurts my soul.
I played enough with Trooper over here to know that I can't look up and down, but it still hurts me sometimes every time.
I try to play with Josh, it just hurts my soul.
It's just one of those things.
I'm like, I want to kill that guy up there. Oh yeah, just shoot the bottom of this.
Just shoot the staircase.
Oh my God.
Then on the other hand, I'm sitting over here with my Resident Evils going, what do you mean you can't get used to tank controls? It's easy. Hold up to walk forward.
Well, that's a Justin thing.
Somebody... What was it the other day?
That's better than freaking the first Devil May Cry when you're sitting there with an analog stick.
Oh God, the first Devil May Cry.
As much as I love Devil May Cry, and I played the
orient your thumb on the stick.
As much as I love Devil May Cry and I played the original too, it's so hard to go back to them. It's rough.
Yeah. Well,
or the modern controls.
We did have a state of play recently. We were going to go over a few things of that we might have thoughts on, maybe.
I only have thoughts on Silent Hill 2. Looks good.
You think so?
Yeah.
All I know is whoever did the trailer for Silent Hill 2 does not understand Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill 2 looks like we have Resident Evil 4 remake at home.
Like, I do not get why the hell you would make a game that is primarily known for suspense and horror and then hand it to somebody to make a trailer for it that is all about basically freaking
beat the shit out of these movies.
It's like
it was all action.
It was like just a bunch of scenes of like, look at James Sunderland shooting the shit out of stuff.
Well, like it didn't show any of the. I mean, maybe we'll see more when it comes, but like it didn't show any lore, like gameplay.
Well, that's the thing though. If you take the original Silent Hill trailer and compare it to the new Silent Hill trailer, it just looks like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't. If I didn't know that was called Silent Hill and you just put it there and I didn't recognize like some of the enemies, I would be like, oh, it's just another generic.
Yeah, to me, it's weird though because
a Resident Evil spin.
It literally looks like a fan project to me. Like it's very nice, very well polished, but it looks like something that would have been a fan project.
I think it could look better.
I mean,
I don't know how far out this is, but I don't know for everything that's like. Sony's like, oh, look at us and our graphics and blah, 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 and it doesn't feel pushed.
See, I care more about the atmosphere as opposed to
I don't even think the atmosphere was there.
That's the thing, though.
I know a lot of internal shots.
Yeah, that's the thing that really sucks. Like, you should be showing off the atmosphere. You should be showing off, like, Silent Hill. You shouldn't be showing me James...
seconds.
Yeah, you shouldn't be showing me James beating things with a pipe constantly.
And, like, I get it. Maybe that's, like, oh, that's what the modern gamer wants. But this game isn't for the modern gamer. It's for the fans.
Yeah,
and if you want a remake, you have to show us that you cared and remade it the way we want and not just...
Like, I am
Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, Resident Evil, any of them.
Yeah, well, like, I'm
After
hyped for
3.
the idea of people playing the, Silent Hill 2. I think it's really weird that they didn't remake the one that is, like, half impossible to play,
Why not
being
start
Silent
with-
Hill 1.
We're gonna remake the games, but let's start at 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. 2 was the most popular one, and 2 is considered the best one of all of them. I mean, I like Silent Hill 4, but whatever.
I like 3.
Silent Hill 3 is the best, in my opinion. But still, Silent Hill 4 was my first Silent Hill, technically, so I still give it that, like, woo!
Impressive. Interesting.
Mine was the first one.
I literally bought the room for, like, $8 on clearance rack at,
Really?
at a Best Buy.
That was part of the time where I was too scared to play any of those games, Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, so I just watched my brother play them.
Yeah, I basically watched my dad play Resident Evil and Silent Hill, and just like, oh god.
You wimps! I was sitting there.
Did he play with the lights off and stuff? My brother always did that, so it was very atmospheric. I would have to sit against the wall because I was so scared. He's like, "You're gonna get scared." I'm like, "I know, but I'm interested."
I remember literally having like 3 CRTs in my room, and just one of them had Silent Hill on, the other one would just have like randomly something on, and because it was like, oh, more monitors is cooler, and that persists to even this day, but it was still one of the cases where the other one would just be turned on and normally blue for like video input.
Oh, you're a fancy pants child. I only had one TV. It was either Nickelodeon or fucking GameCube. I had to pick.
Save.
You kids and your
You
3
kids, your
TVs.
Windows 98 desktop.
I'm just gonna get the new Apple Pro or whatever that thing is, and I can watch all my TVs.
Hey.
Oh, no, actually, some of the reviews came in. Okay, the Apple Vision Pro can only be used to duplicate one monitor off of a MacBook Pro.
I just watched a bunch of shit.
You can have multiple app stations opened and
Oh.
multiple applications, but as far as it goes for, like, replacement monitor, you can only have one monitor.
I don't know. Well, I mean, there's probably so much horsepower or whatever. Or, like,
The thing's $3,500!
I don't know, man.
Jesus.
I've seen a bunch of people tearing it apart and stuff, though. Look what's inside.
Well, not only that, but I just wonder,
Bunch
like,
of
who the
wires.
fuck is that really made for? Because it doesn't have any, like, gaming applications, really.
It's not made for gaming.
No,
it's
but-
gonna be the new.
It's gonna be the new Google Glass, which means it'll probably be gone in
No.
2 years.
Honestly, it's gonna be the new future. Like, it's no different than from like, your landline phone to your cell phones to your smartphones. It's gonna be the new step eventually. Not that it's here, but
Yeah.
it's the first step that it has to take.
Here's the thing, though. As always, I don't think Apple's going to do it, though. I think Apple's going to
Apple
come
just
out.
did it.
I think Apple's going to come out and do a lot of the legwork, basically, and everybody's going to be like,
Right.
"Oh, that's neat." And then literally, it's either going to be like Meta or the Steam version, or even Sony maybe that comes out with
You're
like.
thinking two game. You're
No,
thinking,
no. I'm just talking about with like an actual like easily accessible, because I could see like maybe like a year or two down the line, one of those guys bring out one and they're like, it's only $800 or it's only like $1,000.
Well, the
or
Quest is
something
kind of like that, but
And
it's
I-
more of a gaming.
yeah,
thing.
but here's the thing though. It's made for PC, which multiple applications.
Right.
You have like no developers jumping to the MetaQuest being like, jumping to the Apple Vision Pro being like, oh yeah.
It's not made for games
Well, no, like not even game developers. I'm talking about app developers. Like
because you can only use the apps that are there.
Well, because Apple's like being really fucking weird when it comes to a bunch of like their app security
Yeah.
and everything like that, and they're like not letting people touch it.
Right. It'll take the next. It'll take
And
Android or whatever the fuck can come out with.
as
it.
Apple has continued to fuck up in the past, I honestly think it's going to be one of those cases where somebody in like the next year or two shows up and like, look, it's accessible to everyone. You can even game on it.
I don't think it'll be that soon.
No, but I'd say later down the line, you're going to basically see the PC equivalent, and all the Mac and Apple fanboys are just going to be like, we did it first, it was better, and it's just like,
Well-
yeah, but no.
It's no different than like the smartphones. Like Apple was like the one to push the way, and then now there's multiple of them.
Yeah, and then now you've
and then
got...
they'll each have their own version.
Yeah, and then now you've got, the individuals that are like, either A, they have an iPhone because they just always had an iPhone, so that's what they do. Or you have the individuals who are Apple diehard, who every time they look at an Android, they're like, oh!
Well, Apple has the whole
Well, at
ecosystem.
least you can drop an Android and it won't shatter.
I've dropped mine multiple times.
Yeah, you also have a... How expensive is the case on your phone?
Anybody should have a case.
I know, but I'm just stating, like,
I don't need
I don't know,
one
it's
because
like
I have an
50 bucks.
Android.
yeah.
Every time, okay, for this
Wasn't
fight, every time I
scratching
see
my
like,
ass
oh, Apple, blah 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 blah, they always turn to get out their fucking Android phone and it's shattered or broken or a shitty ass case or no screen protector. It's like, well, yeah, that's gonna be any phone. They're all fucking glass. iPhone's so expensive. Oh, I bled from swiping my finger across my screen on my Android because it's shattered.
I can't say anything. I shattered my last one with a
Thank
lightsaber.
you.
Shattered it with a
But no, like
lightsaber.
with Apple, it comes down to like an ecosystem kind of thing because it's like, oh, you're supposed to have your iPad, your phone, your MacBook, and now your pretty Google goggles, and it's like,
Here's the thing:
People walking around in public.
making a gated garden is nice, but the problem is Apple is so controlling in that gated garden that like it's literally disgusting. Which is why a lot of people, it's not even a matter of like, oh, Apple stuff's just too expensive. It's normally a case of like, it's normally a case of just like, well, yeah, but I can also do everything with this and more.
right? Yeah, I'm not defending them. I'm just saying like that's not their ideal kind of thing, and I think like because eventually like. I don't expect everybody to run around with these freaking snow goggles on their head, but like eventually you're going to get to a point that it's like the technology's there where you can wear a pair of sunglasses that look like that or something like that. It looks more normal.
I like the idea of the Google Glass future.
Not walking around with
like
PSVR on
your
face.
Yeah,
You're not going to be playing Beat Saber walking down the street, but like I've seen videos of it and people walking around and doing it like they should normally. Like this dude was like ordering coffee and he had like his order here and then he was like watching shit over here.
Oh, I can't remember.
Doing emails.
I saw this.
It's gonna be a weird looking future, man.
It popped up on my feed literally, I think, like
tapping
2 days ago. I don't know what state it was in. Part of my brain wants to say it's Idaho, but some guy got pulled over and given a ticket for wearing a Vision Pro while driving.
Yeah, I mean you can, but I wouldn't recommend it. And
No.
there's probably going to be laws.
I don't
for it.
even think
Absolutely.
you can. I think that's
I
just a
mean,
no.
I'm saying you can.
you
but
can as in the
No,
fact
not-
that you could physically
you
pull
can
it
physically
off.
do it. Well, I've seen the video where somebody was sitting in the back and they had their Google thing on,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can like darken out the area around you. So like if you're in a car trip for like 3 hours, you want to put a movie on, you can like black all that out around you. It's pretty cool. You're right, that's pretty cool. I mean, you're not going to give your kid that for $3,500, but like in the future when it becomes more accessible and cheaper, like when it becomes the norm, like, that's pretty cool.
Have self-driving cars here before too long.
Right.
Anyway.
I think initially the Vision Pro, like especially with where we're sitting right now, like it did meet its pre-sales of like over 200,000 units, but I do not see it being a like.
Plus, you have the people buying it just to rip them apart.
Yeah, I
tested them. They're like dropping them.
I do not see it being like
$3,500.
something that is. Yeah, I do not see it being something that is like a consistent viability. Like I think literally 6 months times, nobody will even give a shit about the Vision Pro.
I mean, the Vision Pro, but
It's a device made for workflow and applications, and I don't see a lot of companies being like, "Oh, we need to adopt this new technology," and I don't see a lot of other
well,
like.
again, it just came out.
Yeah, but I don't
Give
see.
it 20 years and it'll be very normal.
Yeah, but like for starting application though, the price is too high. It's a device that I don't think should have been left to release until it could be like the cost of your iPhone.
I mean,
And your iPhone's already overpriced as hell.
it's not made for the everyman.
It's not
every
made
day.
for the everyman. It's made
Not
for
everything-
the Apple obsessed.
Not even that. Like you said, it's for like business practice and stuff like that. Like, not everything has to be made for the general public right away or anything like that.
I mean, I get it, but I just
like you have a test audience, you put it out there, you put your money into it. and then-
Computers.
right. Yeah. Not everybody had personal computers. That became a thing way into the future. It was only for businesses
Damn
and
near everyone has
yeah,
one.
right. It's on your, you're holding one. Your
Yeah, it's in your pocket now.
PCs weren't a normal thing.
I love how we're like, let's start
why
talking about the state of play. We jump into a discussion about Apple.
It went into it.
A lot to talk about.
That is true. There is a fair amount to talk about there.
Unless you want to suck Kojima's dick.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
Oh my god! Look, I respect the guy, but now that he's just paraded around as like, look, we worked with Kojima. Here's the thing, and then like, who asked for Death Stranding 2 when everybody made fun of the first one?
I will say one thing. I will give them full-on credit for this because Death Stranding 2... Did I miss something in the first Death Stranding? Was there cybernetic guitar-wielding axe users? I don't remember that part.
No,
that dude is Kojima. That is pure Kojima.
That is like
he's like, I'm just gonna do this.
that is like Kojima as fuck, but I'm just like,
Well, that might make the game actually better. Like,
Hey,
let Kojima be spicy.
if we cut down
Be a
on the
goofball.
amount of point A to point B, just random walking around, I'd be happy. But
If we could play as a guitar guy, maybe I'd get into
Go
it.
around
But
and yeah, it seems like because Xbox did that too. It's like we're working with Kojima to make a new game, and it's like, okay, like I get his name has weight in the gaming space and everything like that, and he's respected, but it's like this poor guy feels like he's just getting like, look, Kojima, look, we worked with him too. Look, hey, come over here and work for us.
he's the new Miyamoto. It's just like this game.
Well, no one
no, but like,
sold Miyamoto out.
No, but every time Nintendo's like, it's new amazing game. Also, it's being headed by Miyamoto. It's like he doesn't even develop anymore. He's just overseeing the project.
They haven't said anything like that. The last thing they said that too, but it was just Miyamoto was working on the Mario movie.
Oh yeah.
Miyamoto hasn't touched actual productivity of a game since.
Wasn't Twilight Princess like the last one that he was doing anything on?
Very little. Like I just watched a thing on that. Did you know Gaming just had a thing for Miyamoto and his whole thing, but like his history. But yeah, he hasn't touched them since like early 2000. It was the Wii. Like was his last time.
That's what I
producing
figured.
stuff,
Yeah.
Now he just sits in the background and he oversees things, but
Yeah. I don't know. I just like I know Kojima can do great work, but it's one of those cases that I still think the idea of giving the man like my cat has walked underneath my desk and is now just sitting there staring at the wall.
Jinx, you're not in timeout. What are you doing?
But anyway, it's one of those things where I think he honestly can do great things, but I think Kojima is one of those guys that, like, technically, like, once the hype from everybody being like, oh my god, kind of falls off with the, it's a Kojima project, I think he is one of those guys that literally does benefit from having a more structured environment as opposed to being able to go completely insane.
a little bit. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't play Death Stranding. I just heard the reviews and
Like,
seen it.
I know Metal Gear 5 was basically a entire mess of basically struggle and hatred basically on Kojima's end of what he had to put up with Konami. But I would say at the end, despite how the end actually did turn out, that Metal Gear 5 was way better than Death Stranding.
No, for sure.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Death Stranding, I won't even touch that.
Hey, I played like
Just look at
10 hours of Death Stranding, and I'm just like, when do I get to do anything other than point A to point B to trying to avoid black goo?
It feels like, because I know Kojima's a big movie guy too.
Yeah.
And it feels like he wants to direct a movie but can't, and then he takes his games and turns it into that. And it's like, oh yeah, I guess there has to be gameplay in here somewhere. And it's like,
Well, I'm okay with the classic Kojima cutscene. Like, I'm okay with
Right.
like my 20-minute Kojima cutscene. But as far as it goes with like, no, like a Kojima game is normally supposed to be something of more of an experience than an actual
right.
like.
And you
know,
expect it.
yeah, it's kind of like the stupid ladder from Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. You know,
Right.
who the hell in their right mind in any sort of game design meeting says we need to have a ladder that literally takes about 1.25 minutes to actually climb up it?
Or how about the
You know?
truck ride in MGS5?
There you go. Exactly.
Just sitting there staring at the big baddie for like 5 minutes.
Now, I will say, if you ever
But
want
the
to...
gameplay in between
Yeah.
pads that out.
Yeah. Now, I will say, though, if you ever want to see, like, a Kojima mentality game done wrong, I'd say look at Red Dead 2. That game was so much... Like, it looked amazing.
what?
It played amazing. But
Red
then
Dead,
you
Red
were...
Dead 2?
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2.
I didn't know Kojima had anything
No,
to do
he
with
didn't.
it.
I said if you want to
Yeah, what
look
do
at
you
a bad Kojima mentality game.
But Red Dead's good.
It was so slow. It takes 9 hours to loot a body. It takes 9 hours to go to the store. It takes 9 hours to do everything.
But it's
And the entire time in between all of that, you're sitting there having a conversation, and you just like I
But
don't.
people like the role play. I know, like,
Like I get it, fine. You like to roleplay, but give me like 2-button looting and let me actually just.
yeah, we'll wait till freaking GTA 6 then.
Oh God.
They're like Red Dead,
Red
Dead man is
Red Dead.
was successful. We're gonna do that in GTA. You wait.
Oh, like, don't get me wrong, Red Dead looked amazing and it played amazing, but
And
there
the story
was
was good.
so much just slow down and fuck around time
I
in that
agree.
game. It was
Like,
just
I like realism to a point, but at this end of the day, I also want to play a game. So like,
Yeah.
I don't need to like just give me a pick up the
That's
thing
why.
button. I don't need to like actually do
That's
it.
why I say Kojima game mentality is great, because mainly it's one of those cases where, like, yeah, you got a 20-minute cutscene, and then next thing you know, you're suplexing a Metal Gear and fighting a ninja samurai. You know, it's like,
That was
okay,
that
this
was-
is
That
psychotic.
was my favorite part of Red Dead 2.
Yeah, your favorite part in Red Dead 2.
Suplexing a Metal Gear.
Suplexing a Metal Gear.
Dang, I'm fucking.
Nanomachines.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What else did they do in State of Play?
Oh, I don't know. We had the new Helldiver looked good. That was like the only thing that I saw in the new State of Play that I was honestly like, oh, that's neat.
There's not Nier Automata.
Oh yeah, not Nier Automata looked really good. Stellar Blade, yeah, that was cool. I don't. Not Nier Automata looks like it might be worth a play, but it also is one of those games that sadly I can say I will not pay full price for.
Yeah, I won't buy it at launch, but when it's like $20 on a Christmas deal, it's like sure, because I like that kind of game.
Yeah,
so.
but it's one of those cases where now it's been done to death to the point where I'm just like,
Well, Sony's original
I'll
lately.
play it later.
Like Splatoon, not Splatoon.
Oh, that I
So-
think
Soapy.
Foam
I think Foam Star is actually free to play, isn't it? When it comes out, is that one of those like we want to be
It's just the
Fortnite?
point that like Sony has been like, oh, look at our originality, and like we're pushing the game, what the state of gaming forward and everything. Anyway, we like what Nintendo's been doing for the last 20 years. So
Yeah.
we made our not Wii, our not Splatoon, our not everything Nintendo does.
Yeah, our not Switch / Steam Deck.
Oh my god.
I hate that thing. I hate that thing so much, and I don't care if anybody gets mad, but if you own one, you love to waste money. I'm sorry. That thing is so useless.
Yeah.
Do you want to play your PS5 while you're somewhere else in your house where your PS5 is not?
Do you want to play a lesser PS5?
Do you want to play it on Wi-Fi at the... Like, how obsessed does Sony think people are that people are like, need my portable PS5 so I can go and shadow play my PS5
Like
other
if
places?
they wanted to make a portable like that, instead of having to stream it from the internet, just have it where you can like download it and then play it natively.
I can honestly say, like, playing it natively, that wouldn't have worked, especially with the caliber of PS5 games you're looking at graphically. And
How does streaming work? Look at half the people that have to stream them. Like, you have the best internet connection.
well, yeah, but like streaming, you're sending one data line out and then you're literally streaming video in. That's the entire way that
You're
works.
talking about people having access to this stuff with Apple. I feel like that's the same way with the
Oh,
portable
yeah.
because like not everybody has that kind of internet to be able to stream this, but they might want the concept of being like, I want to play Spider-Man over here. I don't know.
See, I like the idea of like a portable PlayStation. Like it's almost like they should make a new handheld.
It was like
maybe.
they done this before.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, that Sony, I know why they did this though, like as far as it goes for the Sony portable.
Because they like to copy Nintendo all the time. Even
That-
though they say they don't.
That, and if you remember, the main reason that the PS Vita failed is because Sony literally got about a year and a half into its lifespan and they were like, cool, there's a pile of indie games on it, we're gonna stop making shit for it and we're just gonna keep selling the console. Because literally that's basically what they did, and that it doesn't matter how expensive the handheld would be that they'd release, they'd do the exact same thing. So I think to Sony it's just like, well, if we release another Sony handheld, but now it only plays the shit you stream from your PS5, we don't have to make any games for it.
I'm sorry, but like
Wow.
how you said with Apple like being so confined within themselves, I feel like Sony is that for games because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like you can do this stuff, but you have to buy our earbuds, our little portable system, our whatever. You can't just do it
I think
anywhere.
that all started with the PS4
Yeah.
It really
because
does.
the PS4 did really freaking well, and then Sony was just like, "Okay, we're on top now.
If you
don't
know-
have to put much effort in."
In all
now."
fairness, that is true.
Yeah.
If you notice, every time Sony does well, there's almost like this air of arrogance that they just
Right.
shove out where they're just like, we're top of the world, suck it, bitches. Nintendo does it too, actually, now that I think about it. Because every time Nintendo wins, they're just like, we're going to get rid of our million seller deals, and we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to make you guys pay for cloud saving, and we're going to make you guys, pay.
Not as terribly as Sony, but it's
No,
there.
but it
at
is
least they
If I want to buy a 7-year-old first-party Nintendo game, I'm still paying $60.
right. That's
Yeah.
where their arrogance comes.
Yeah.
Like
It's-
Nintendo, come on.
at least they play well with Xbox and other shit. But like I don't know.
I think it is just mainly a thing of like how those two companies act. They're like, we've been here for years. You're gonna fucking love us. And the second we don't, then they're like, shit. What do? We listen to them.
GameCube games remastered.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I swear, they've listened and we're like, oh, we want GameCube on the pass and we want GameCube games and blah blah blah. So they're like, okay, we remastered all the games, but we're gonna save them for those dark times where it's like, our profits are dropping. We need something.
That's like the Mario anniversary. We get like a Mario trilogy that's bare effort, and it's just like we shoved 3 games together. Zelda's trilogy comes out, and it's like, do you want some Skyward Sword?
Trilogy?
Do you want?
You mean their anniversary?
Yeah, Zelda's anniversary comes out, and they're just like, do you want some Skyward Sword?
That game that everybody's very divisive on. We could port these other 2 games over for the anniversary that are stuck on the Wii U, but
Nah.
yeah,
well, I'm telling you, they're going to save that for a rainy day.
Oh, yeah.
It's already ported. We just haven't released it.
Oh, apparently,
There's Luigi's Mansion 1, man.
water cooler talk is always
Right.
water cooler
Stuck
talk.
on the
but
3DS.
apparently, we might actually be getting information about a new Switch, not a new Switch console, a new Nintendo console this year.
Yeah, I hope so. I think it's time.
I've been hearing that for
I
like
just
the
hope
past
it's-
2 years.
Well, this one, I mean, look at the lifespan. It's pretty much.
Yeah,
Dead.
it's how long's it been now? It's been what, 6 years?
Oh, it was 2017.
Yeah, so,
So it's been. It'll be like 7 years this
yeah, it'll be 7 years this year. So
But I think as long as it's backwards compatible and everything, like, I don't want to start a new ecosystem. Like, they need to continue the online, like, that'll carry over and not like reset everything back. We don't have these old games anymore, and then they have to introduce it again.
I
like,
think
just
you're-
keep it going.
I think your online service will keep going as far as it goes for being able to play like your Super Nintendo and your NES games
Right.
and your NCC. I will not.
if they go back
I will
and
not-
cancel that would...
I will not even pose a guess because we're talking about Nintendo, and also as far as it goes for backwards compatibility, also we're talking about Nintendo. So I'm not even going to try to think on that one either because it's likely for them to be like, look. The Wii 42! We brought out a new home console. It's not compatible with any Switch games.
No, the Switch is
Your
too
one
success-
new game is Pikmin.
the Switch is too successful of a model for them to, and plus they've always had handheld in their library, and now that the Switch is both of those things, they're going to continue the hybrid.
See,
sure.
I just don't know if
see
they're
no
going to
reason to
continue.
change.
See,
Yeah.
I just don't know if they're going to continue the cartridge format. That's the thing that I'm saying.
I don't. Well, you don't want to do disc because we've seen that with the PSP, and it's like
Yeah,
too clunky and it's
UDMs
like
don't
squishy
do
and-
that good, but
I know you would have more unless they come out with some new way to do it.
well,
Just start giving us games on flash drives.
here's the thing though, like yeah, running something like they do their own proprietary version of it, but why there was just a mod crack for the Switch that allows you to literally back up your games and everything like that off of SSD and literally play them in like a cartridge plug-in, basically like a mega, an ultra, like a ultra drive or whatever those are called. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Flash card?
Yeah,
Yeah.
flash card. Anyway,
Flashcard.
no, but that could be done so much cheaper though if they'd actually use like universal tech for like SSD and shit like that, as opposed to like. Because a terabyte of freaking micro SSD right now is like $60.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
No.
Ouch.
Hang on, I don't have my phone on me. I can't double check.
I will check this.
All right, and you're also in front of my keyboard, so I can't double check there
I
either.
will check this.
Oh no! Itchy.
Dead air. Don't have dead air.
Don't have dead air. Continue. Sing. Go for sing.
Gophers don't sing, buddy boy.
On Amazon, if I want like an actual, yeah, it's like $90 for a SanDisk one,
Okay, so like I'm a little bit off. I will go
Yeah.
ahead and say I'm a bit off.
but it's getting cheaper.
Yeah, but if they'd use something in the realm of like a universal storage type that's widely adopted, it would be a lot cheaper than them. Like, I think, how much is it they charge per cartridge as far as it goes again? I can't remember the numbers, but I know it was like kind of stupid. Because I think the biggest cartridge on the Switch is like what, 64 or 80?
I have no idea. We don't have Call of Duty on the Switch.
Yet.
Yes. Well, Call of Duty, it also takes up almost a terabyte of data every time you install it.
That's very true. It'll take up my entirety of my Switch.
Oh man, that's what upset me about Persona 3, because I did not check my PlayStation when I got home. I had everything all nice and set up. Like, okay, go home, stick the disc in. While that's downloading, I'm gonna go grab a shower. By the time I'm out of the shower, it should be done. I turn my TV on. 0%. What? Oh, you don't have enough space on your fucking hard drive.
What was the data requirements on that?
I think it was like 24 gigs or so.
Hmm.
I was like, well, damn it. I have to delete something here.
That's not bad, too. That's one of those cases where I look at that game and I'm like, wow, somebody made a reasonable and sensible, obtainable game that probably didn't cost like $600 million to make.
Oh, no.
And it's going to sell well, make a good profit, and everything's going to be nice. You know what? I love Sega. I don't care. I'm going to say that. I love Sega's mentality when it comes to making games because it's always goofy, it's always fun, and it's always well thought out anymore. Unless it's a Sonic title, and then it's normally
I was
a
going to say, speaking of Sonic,
No,
that's just well thought out. Let's get Generations remake.
Sega did a good thing by buying Atlas.
Yeah, I will say one thing though, as far as
But they're kind of fucking up Atlas now because Atlas didn't used to do all this stupid day one DLC up until Sega went, hey, come here.
I say Sega's going to want the money part.
you know, I mean, Sega wants the
Because
money,
Sega
but
doesn't
I
have
will
Sonic anymore.
I will say though, Sega has never been super greedy. They've
No.
been, you know, they've had their moments of just like, but they've never been to the point where they like make me actively disgusted.
No.
And the way they treat their fan community is something I will always praise and love.
Yeah, Sega's always a company. It's like, I've never
Like
been
when
a
your
fan of
company,
myself, but I can't hate them.
yeah, when your company goes out of their way to literally host a yearly event where people literally mod and hack the shit out of your own games, I'm just like, fuck yeah, let's go.
It's thanks to Sega I have Hatsune Miku games right now. So.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, no, as far as it goes for the new Sonic Generations X Shadow, I looked at that and I was just like, okay.
I don't know why they just didn't make a new game.
I
Just make a new Shadow the Hedgehog, man.
Like, here we go again with like more remasters.
well, in all fairness, Generations was good. Okay, like objectively,
Right.
Generations was good.
That's what I'm saying. Just make a sequel.
And Frontiers was good. Okay, and we don't talk about
Forces.
Forces, but then we had Sonic Mania. I was kind of hoping that we would get like a Mania 2 or something, you know, from Cannon Head or, you know. But I guess I'm fine with a new Generations. I'm like,
it's not new, it's remaster.
yeah, I'm fine with a remastered Generations, but they just had that trailer not too long ago where they're like, look, new Golden Axe, look, new, you know, Streets of Rage,
Jet Set Radio!
new Jet Set Radio, you know, and it's just like, awesome. And then, like, for their state of play, they're like, we remade Sonic Generations. I'm like,
Well, to be fair, I mean,
Oh,
we
Sega.
just had Frontier, so like they can pass Generations off to a side team, and it was since the 360 era, so it's like it can be done. At least it wasn't like Last of Us Part 2 remaster where it's been 2 years, 3 years, or whatever. It's like, oh, we need more
see, like,
textures in it.
I like Sonic Generations, like, don't get me wrong, but
No
just
different.
looking at it remade, though, I'm just kind of like, I would kill for another, for them to, like, if they were going to remake any of the Sonic games from the 360 era, there's 2 games that I would like to see remade.
We all love Sonic 06.
Funny enough, if they remade Sonic 06 and actually fixed it, I'd be up for
Nope.
playing it.
I just want it ported with better textures.
You
and
just want it
resolution.
ported, that's all.
Keep it as it is.
Keep it broken as hell, just port
That's
it.
why it's loved.
That'd be part of the charm.
Exactly.
No, if they would fix that and port that, I'd be cool with that. And then the original Sonic All-Star Racers Transformed. I would love to see that
Oh
ported.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Because that was an amazing kart game.
What about Sonic Rise
Well,
of
did
the
they make
Werewolf?
another one and then that was meh?
They made this,
Don't they have one on Switch?
Yeah,
Am I
they
wrong?
do. No, they do. It's literally, it's like Sonic Racers or Sonic Team Racing, okay? And what it is you're literally driving in a team of 3 drivers, and then it's using that like average percentage like they do in NASCAR to see who's top bracket and stuff like that. And it basically plays like that. And to be honest, it's all Sonic characters, and I want to see more Sega characters. They don't have to bring back
Yeah.
Danica Patrick, but I want to see
She's my favorite
What
Sega
the
character.
hell was that?
Danica Patrick.
Yeah, what the hell was up with that?
Danica Patrick and Wreck-It Ralph were the 2 guest characters in Sonic All-Star Racers Transformed.
Well, that kind of made sense with their crossover in the movie. But like, yeah, that'd be cool to have just a Sega, just have a Sega racer.
Yeah.
It's kind of what Mario did with a little bit with
Yeah.
having Link and Animal Crossing characters.
Well, like as I said, they've done it before and it was really good, and then they just randomly were like, "Oh, Sonic Racing." It's just like, I mean, okay, cool. This is basically like the sequel to Sonic Racers 2 on the Game Gear, but you know,
I want beat.
I want Billy Hatcher.
Ooh,
Right, yeah,
deep diver.
Deep dive. Both of you did that at the same time.
I said deep cut.
Oh, deep cut.
I want.
No, I would
can
actually
you make
really love to see a Billy Hatcher in the Giant Egg port. I would.
Where's Joker? In the Joker mobile.
Joker and the Jokettes. But no, yeah, Billy Hatcher would be cool.
Yeah, like I really, that's like the one GameCube game that I would go back and be like, yes, let's play now.
I mean, imagine it. You're driving along, and all of a sudden this hand comes up and touches your shoulder. Show me your true form. Ripped your face off.
That's my favorite part of Billy Hatcher.
Yeah.
I know.
Still on Joker.
Motherfucker.
Just rips the face off.
I see Billy Hatcher go up against Yoshi.
What? No, we could do like a Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, but the kart racing.
Yes.
Dude, that'd be okay. New crossover.
That would be
You guys can do it. Absolutely.
But you're forgetting one thing. Nintendo biggest money-making franchise is the Mario Kart franchise, and there is no way in hell they'd let that near anybody else.
Look, we all think it. Just take Smash Brothers and all their crossovers and put it into Mario Kart and make a new Mario. Yeah, just make it a Smash Kart.
Yeah, but
So that way you don't.
Everyone from
That way you don't have
Smash Ultimate, stick
and
them in a
just
cart.
put them somewhere else.
Yeah.
No, then you don't have to get Sakurai into it. Just be like, look, we're going to take our Mario Kart team because we can't think of anything for Mario Kart 9,
Yeah.
and just make a Smash Kart. And even if you couldn't get the guest characters because of licensing, at least you have all your Nintendo characters, right?
I mean, I love the idea, but then you got to remember we're talking about Nintendo.
Yeah, we don't
It
want
would be fun.
to. We
things.
make money, but we don't want to make too much
The
money.
only time Nintendo does something
not too
cool, amazing, and like out of left field is when they're losing money. That's when they're like, "Fuck, let's do something crazy."
is when you have somebody like Sakurai do it.
Yeah.
That's what Sora and Smash is.
They turn the only time that Nintendo's ever like, let's throw shit at the wall and see if it fits and do something amazingly cool is when they're basically like, oh shit, the ship is on fire and we're
That's why they're
sinking.
so aggravating. They have the ability to like totally control gaming if they really wanted to a point. Maybe not powerhouse wise, but like the amount of ideas and IPs and shit they have just sitting there not being used. It's like, come on.
Yeah, really.
Why can't
Like,
you
we
play
haven't-
as Waluigi and Smash?
Right.
We haven't seen an F-Zero game in how many
Right.
years?
That's what I'm saying. Oh no, we just got that new one online. That's what you've been asking
Yeah,
for.
F-Zero 99. You got an SNES.
We hear you loud and clear.
You got a modded SNES port that's a battle royale. Have
Let's
fun.
go.
It's gonna be gone by this time next year.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe we get that for a maybe that's a hint. Maybe we'll get that for Switch 2 release.
I mean, that'd be cool.
F-Zero GX remastered.
I'd
Here
also
you go.
love to know
I'll
what the
even
hell...
take just a remaster. Right?
I mean, I like that they went ahead, like, literally 2 years ago now and said that we're starting freaking Metroid Prime 4 over again. You know,
Yeah.
basically to make sure it's good.
Yeah.
But now we haven't heard jack shit about it.
let them cook, man.
I mean, I'm gonna let them cook,
Let 'em
but
cook.
I'd still like at
That
least...
team's dedicated.
I mean, look what happened with RE4 remake.
Yeah, but I'd still like to at least hear, like, I don't need them to make an announcement. I'd like to just hear, like, one of their
They
Nintendo...
kinda-
I'd like to hear just one of their Nintendo Directs being like, also, we're still working on Metroid Prime 4.
They
Anyway,
are,
bye.
But they already kind of did show you what they're doing. I mean, look at Metroid Prime
Yeah.
Remaster. That was the same team.
Yeah.
They're like, your Metroid 4 is going to be good. Just wait.
I still have to finish that.
I'm still annoyed that I'm still annoyed that we didn't get Trilogy. Like, I know they did a complete remaster, and I give them credit for that, but they should have done Trilogy.
Right, but the amount of care they put into the remaster, I can see
Oh,
why.
yes.
Like,
Oh yeah, no, I get it, but I want 2 and 3.
I do too.
want,
I heard they're working on it too.
yeah.
because that could be like side income or projects or whatever. but-
Like, seriously, if Nintendo came out tomorrow and told me that, like, it was going to be, like, a $400 box set to get, like, the entirety of Metroid Prime Trilogy, like, just on Switch,
Mhm.
that would be one of those shut up and take my money moments.
Right.
Yeah, that literally, like, I don't care if it's, like, a collector's edition that literally comes with, like, nothing but a steelbook.
But I
It would
mean,
be like
like-
that, yes.
they did have to remake a ton of shit from the ground up, and
oh, yes.
and make sure the controls worked and et cetera. Like they reworked the controls
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Well,
So
well,
like,
no, like I get it. They're putting in work to do that, but that is seriously one of
Yeah.
those moments where I'm like,
because they didn't even have to do that.
We
they,
will
they,
buy
they
it.
could have literally just took the ports and be like, here. And
they could have pulled a Mario Galaxy.
They were showing they care.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
they could have pulled a Mario Galaxy, which if they
Right, they could have pulled that.
like honestly though, I always preferred the first two Metroid Primes on GameCube. Like
Everybody does.
I never cared for the Wii ports that much.
Well, the Wii's the best way to play, but Corruption's a little weird.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
the
I never
Wii.
finished Corruption.
Yeah.
The Wii in general, with the way the controls were on the Wii, I've never been the biggest fan of the side turning
It works.
on the Wii. Like it works.
It's a little weird, but
it's
like
a little bit janky.
when I played I played the first one on the Wii. It was very. I like being able to free move and like aim and stuff instead of walking
Yeah.
on like the GameCube. And now I know like the remaster kind of fixes both of those
Mm-hmm.
issues, and it's really nice. So
Like in all fairness, though, the GameCube was never really made for a first-person shooter.
well, they had the twin sticks. They just didn't use them. They
The
used
twin
it. They used it for her visor.
Yeah,
instead.
you're talking about the C nub.
It's like, you want to switch your visors? You could use that to move.
It's like an IBM mouse
I would rather
thumb button. It's just like, oh, goody.
Well, I mean, I played like Time Splitters and stuff on the GameCube.
I mean,
It
yeah,
works.
you could.
I did.
Yeah, you
It
could.
works as a normal controller.
It works as a normal controller.
I know Nintendo doesn't like to have normal controllers since Super Nintendo, but
You know, it's like, oh, everybody else is doing analog sticks after we did the N64 weird analog stick. Let's do it weirder.
put it in the middle.
Put it.
I
All
have
because-
no idea how to hold one of those things.
The only reason that was in that video too. Like, apparently, the other reason they did that was Miyamoto was like, "What about the left-handed players?"
I got
Because he's left-handed.
Oh,
I got
Yeah.
a kick out of it. I saw this weird ass meme online, okay, and it was literally it's some lady holding a N64 controller, and she's holding it like I don't know, like third configuration basically is what I'm just gonna say, where she has one hand on the outer grip towards the D-pad, and the other one's on the main grip with your button layout and your C buttons and everything like that. And it's like, if you used an N64 controller like this, you didn't game in the 90s. And I'm like,
But there was a couple games that
there was a
did use
couple
that.
games that did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was quite a few actually. Now that I think about it,
Hell, just playing Pokemon Stadium, you have to use those buttons.
it's the best way to play Bomberman 64.
Oh my god! It's like, yeah, not many games did that.
Yeah, it's just like,
So I can't even.
how
Well, no,
else
you-
would you play Resident Evil 2?
Is that how that played on that?
I'm guessing.
I
don't know.
I don't know. I never played.
I honestly
Resident
don't
Evil
think
2
they
on 64.
owned any games that played like that. I just know they existed,
Yeah.
or they had options.
Ye-
I mean, I would assume you would use the D-pad in RE2. But,
I honestly don't remember. I think it might have been analog.
I mean, you can use the D-pad on the GameCube.
D-pad
Like
would make sense.
2 and 3 and 1.
Because no, I think it might have actually been analog on there. I think you might have been using the stick on the N64
I feel
because
like with 10 controls, the D-pad would definitely be.
well, it would have been better. But you were also talking about the same time that like
Unless you
Capcom
go on the
would-
GameCube.
we're talking about the same time where Capcom was getting weird and making like DualShock editions of everything. Though we're like, you want to do 10 controls with a stick? We're doing it with a stick. It's just like okay.
True, true.
You can miss me with that RE1 DualShock edition, bro.
You know, when I first got a PlayStation, I didn't know there was
Director's
one-
Cut specifically.
I didn't know there was a PlayStation controller without analogs. I thought it was always analogs. So when I played certain games, I'm like, why can't I play this in analog? It was because of that
Yeah, it's
reason.
like why do I?
After I grew up, I'm like, oh, that's why. I thought it was just like, this is stupid.
Or you get
The
the
first time
or
I
you get
saw a
certain
PlayStation
PS1.
controller without the sticks, I'm just like, this thing looks naked.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this watered down? It's like, oh, that was the original. It's like, oh.
This looks so goofy.
Yeah,
man.
that's like some of the older PS1 games that do support DualShock, but don't turn it on by default. So you're sitting there, you start it up, and you're like,
Yeah,
ah,
you have to press it.
okay, let's go.
I had that all the time. Every game I played after I figured out that some of them weren't analog, I would always press. Honestly, didn't even know what the button meant. Like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that turned on the analog stick. I didn't know this shit at the time, but I knew if I pressed it, they would work. But I didn't realize
You
what was
didn't
happening.
register.
Yeah, it didn't register. I'm just like, well, I can play it now, so that's all you care about.
Hey, why is this like this?
Well, no other controller ever had that shit. It was only that one, so I'm
Yeah.
like, you know.
Well, I mean, if you're the PS2 controller was the other like weird ass oddity. They literally made everything on that controller analog, even the buttons. Technically, it's like push the triangle button harder to make something happen. It's like, what?
Never even came across in my mind neither. So.
There's like 3 games that I know of at the top of my head that actually use that for anything, but other than that, it's
just to make it a 2.0.
Yeah, it's just like, okay.
Literally PS1, but analog button.
Oh my god.
Oh, speaking of weird showcases and stuff, which apparently we're getting an answer to from Big Daddy Phil,
Ooh.
is that whole backlash with the rumors with Xbox stuff coming to like PS5 and etc.
Oh, okay.
And then Twitter was breaking down, and somebody's like, Twitter's breaking down, and they showed Phil playing Diablo 4. And then that same day, he had to get on Twitter and be like, look, we're going to have a meeting about this, and then we're going to announce some stuff for the future of Xbox. He's like, stop, essentially saying, stop bothering me. I'm trying to play Diablo 4. We're going to talk about it, and then we'll come in and talk to you guys about it. Shut the fuck up.
I just completely took that out of context, though, because the only thing I could see is, like, Phil Spencer playing Diablo 4. It's like, the internet's breaking down. It's like, look, I fucking played Diablo, alright? It's fine.
Well, that's people are like, why isn't he answering us? It's like, he gets days off too, Jesus Christ, let him alone.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then, it's weird though. So, you know how this whole time, during this whole fight in last generation, it was, Xbox doesn't have any exclusives or any good exclusives, blah, 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 blah. Literally the opposite is happening now, where that rumor happened, and I've seen a ton of fucking Sony fanboys be like, I would double down on Gears of War 5 on or 6 or whatever on PlayStation 5 and all this stuff. I'm like, so they didn't have any exclusives and stuff you cared about until all of a sudden you said the games might come over. Now you're like, oh, we love you, Xbox. It's like, what do you want?
I love that. It's just like, fuck yeah, let's play Halo.
Right. They're like, oh, now I'll definitely play it. I love you, Phil. Come on, you can do it. But before it was like, Phil's stupid. Xbox has no exclusives.
I'm just happy that I'm not losing my Crash Bandicoots.
I will say one thing, though, that I do find
they actually let Toys for Bob cook.
I will say one thing, though, that I just find
visions.
Absolutely psychotic, though, is the fact that, like, Microsoft basically... last generation was told, like, you have no exclusives, you suck. Microsoft basically turned around and they were like,
bought everyone.
Buy all the exclusives.
And that, they don't even care about exclusives now. They bought it all for the revenue, and then they're going to put it across everything.
Yeah, now they just bought it all, and they're like, now it's on the Game Pass. I'm just like,
Xbox going like third party now, or what's going on?
It's rumored. They're going to talk about it in their future.
There going to be no more Xboxes?
Oh, there'll be Xboxes.
So I think it's like the ecosystem thing I talked about before. It's like they'll have Xboxes so it has ease of access for people to get it that don't have like a PC or want to game on their phones and stuff. But their model is more like, we just want people to play the games and get them out there. We don't care.
Yeah, basically their thought process anymore. You're giving us money. We don't give a shit what box you play on. We also do sell a box, but, whatever.
If you want to play it on this box, but yeah, if you already have a box, you can play it on that box.
Yeah, it's like, play it on this
different branded box.
Yeah, right. Whatever box you want to play it on, fine. Are you paying for Game Pass? That's basically what they're doing.
Like, look, your $18 or whatever a month is good no matter where you're at. Give me your money.
You can give us $300 and then pay $18 a month, or $500 and then pay us $18 a month, or you can just pay us $18 a month. We're pretty reasonable.
Anyway, give your money. But no, like, the console wars is done and over with. And
the only people I think still
Sony and Nintendo from now on.
The only thing
Nintendo doesn't even care about the console. They're doing their own thing.
No, Nintendo's never.
No, they never.
No, anymore. If I was going to equate the current, if I was going to equate the console, like the current big three, into like console war mentality at this point, it would remind me more of like a high school drama at this point. You've got the drama kid who's sitting over there in class just saying, I want to make art and things that people will remember, which is Nintendo sitting over there, and then anytime somebody criticizes them, they're like, well, fuck you, and just walking away.
No remaster.
Yeah. Then you literally have Sony sitting over there, basically being like, someone like me, please be popular. And then you've literally...
I think Sony's more like the jock kid that thinks he's good at everything, but he's really not.
Yeah, it's just like secretly
He peaked as the quarterback for your local
And then you've got Chad Microsoft. And then you've got Chad Microsoft over here, you know. Some kid gets beat up in the hallway. He takes $20 from him, goes and beats up that other kid. You know?
No. Okay. He doesn't beat up people. Because he's literally like...
He just comes over, he's like, hey, you picking on little Tim? It's like, yeah, it's like, here's $500,000. You don't do that anymore. You work for me.
A little more like that. Like, I'll protect you, buddy. But, like, because, like, Xbox is like, hey, man, we're all cool here. Just, here, take a hit of this and we can all be friends. Take a hit of Game Pass and you'll be addicted. The first one's free.
He's the popular class stoner.
Free month of Game Pass, take a hit. It's free.
First one's free. You just got to come back to me after.
He's the hippie kid that everyone
Exactly.
likes.
He's just the chill dude.
Oh, God. I will say one thing, though. I still will actively stand by this until I die, even though it's the way the world is going, whether I like it or not. I still think overall Game Pass is not good.
Speaking of which, just seeing a thing about that, too. Somebody else brought up, with subscription-based stuff like Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, etc., like, do you think they're responsible for most of media? Like, I mean, going the way of old Yeller?
Yeah.
Like, physical media? Because, like, I would accumulate that to, like, Netflix and stuff, like, starting the streaming thing.
I would say, honestly, as far as it goes for, like, visual, you're talking about game media?
They just said physical media, because, like, that's the way it's going.
100%. Like, it's not even a matter, though...
100% that Game Pass is more responsible for this?
I'd say Game Pass is responsible for it quite a bit. I'd also say just the advent of the internet in general is why we have that.
Right.
I remember, like, back when I used to play World of Warcraft, like...
a big one for that.
Yeah. Back when I used to play World of Warcraft, say, like, circa 2006 to circa 2008, I remember if I needed to re-download World of Warcraft for any reason, it was literally one of those cases where I started the download process, basically turned off my monitor, and came back 2 days later.
Right.
Okay, nowadays it's like, oh, this game's 60 gigs. Well, I guess I've got about 45 minutes to do something.
Depending.
Yeah, it's just like one of those things.
Like,
like 60 gigs. No, 60 gigs would take me like 20 minutes these days.
Well, like, I know...
Well, if you're on Wi-Fi, like my stupid ass, oh boy.
Well, like,
better find something to do for 4 hours.
Yeah.
But, like, I understand, like, I love physical media too and everything, but I can't blame the way technology is going into the direction it is. Like, it's just easier and easier to consume when it's, like, at the tip of your fingers. Like, music, movies, video games.
But I can...
Yeah, you don't like it, but...
I can oppose, though, the way that it's handled, because, like, games that are currently being, like, dropped off of, like, the PS4 online store right now that only ever had a digital release, that's gone.
Right.
You're never going to find that again.
You're going to lose stuff.
You've already lost how many games just from last generation due to the advent of digital media. And the reason that I stand so opposed to Game Pass is because Game Pass, while it is an amazing service and it is one of those things that allows you to go ahead and play hundreds of games at your fingertips, and that's great and everything like that for a low monthly fee, hooray, it's one of those things that incentivizes people to basically, like, just continue to churn out, like, this is popular. We've seen the, you know, formula. People like this. If we release it on Game Pass, we'll get a lot more plays because it's a popular franchise, it's a popular series, or it's a popular gameplay mechanic, blah, 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 blah. And time again, it is just the, like, most potato chip style video game that gets released like that everybody sees because our analytics show that it will sell because it's just like this game and this game and this game and this game, and it's just like, oh my god.
Do you think because there's such a hardcore fan base for physical and they don't want to lose that, plus it's also more money in their bank technically for, like, special editions and stuff, do you think it'd be smart, kind of like a limited run thing where, like, if the main companies are going away from physical media, to be like, look, you can buy it from us and we'll send you a physical copy kind of thing, or a special edition, but we're not gonna, like if it ever comes to the point, like, we don't want to carry this in stores, and, like, like, have, like, a limited window, or, like, between this time and this time you can order a copy, we'll physically make one for that, and then that's the only physical copies in the world that we'll have.
Well, I think
you'll get one.
I think it was, like, back in, like, September of last year or something like that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, for, like, a whole month, it'll be like, will make to order.
Yeah.
So like if 10 million people order a physical copy, they'll make that 10 million. That's all there is in the world done. It's not like
Well,
they're gonna
like-
have only a million the first million get.
Well, like, let's put it this way.
Like if they make like if you ordered one, you're guaranteed. Kind
You
of
know
thing.
the big group that goes
Might
ahead
be
and
cool.
handles like game preservation, everything like that, the Historical Game Society or whatever it's called. I'm sorry, I'm mangling that. I'll put in a excerpt. But
No, you won't.
apparently, like back in September, the ESRB blocked them literally from being able to do more in the way of video game preservation because the rights holders literally wouldn't let, it's like, I don't care if you want to hold that game that we made like 10 years ago for prosperity reason. It's ours. You can't touch it.
I mean, to be fair, in the eyes of the law, that is like there's nothing you can do about it.
True, but
they don't
after-
have to care about
but-
how you feel about your favorite game from.
But here's the thing. After a
1994.
movie has been out for like 5 years, it gets added into movie archives. Okay? Like, literally. Like, fucking Shrek last year got put into the Library of fucking Congress for media.
I think that becomes that whole debate is like, is video game art? Because they see that stuff as
Yes.
art, or they see this as just a service.
That's the thing, though. We've already basically finished debating that. We consider video games art nowadays.
We do, but
No.
they?
Public Lexicon literally considers video games artistic expression. That is actually a thing that has been basically broken down and
Give me
been
your
like,
money.
yes.
This loot box is my artistic expression.
Yeah, exactly. But
Cough it up.
like the fact that now they're actively being like, well, no, we want to be taken seriously. We are art. We are a multi-billion-dollar industry. Ha! Respect us. Okay, well, we're going to have to start, like taking inventory of the things you guys have created. That way future generations can see it and enjoy it. And it's like, oh, no, we don't want you to do that. Why? Because we're not getting paid for you doing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the greedy part.
Emulation.
Get used to assimilating.
Yeah, get used to
Yeah,
simulating
Um,
your shit.
That's another thing I hate about digital media. It's because there are a lot of games for the 3DS that if you try to get them physically now, hey, guess what? You're paying like $200+.
Right, because they don't get ported. And it's hard to port those kind of
Yeah.
games because like they're made for a system that like, how do I
Yeah.
port this?
It's like
3DS shit.
Well, that's
I
what
mean,
I'm
they
getting
did it
at
with
with, like-
Atronauts.
That's what I'm getting at with like the
Some of
game
them-
preservation
yeah.
and stuff like that. Like
Shin Megami Tensei 4 and 4 Apocalypse.
If
You
it was
wanna buy
one of
those
the-
games, well, too fucking bad.
They're saying that cartridges.
now, like I will
For
say,
how much?
I didn't look it.
Probably close to $200-300,
Probably.
man.
I will say right now though, like literally, with us going to a more standardized version of hardware across the board, and us just moving forward with technology as opposed to like insanely weird architecture like from the PS3 and stuff like that, it is getting to be more of a progressive step forward that being able to actually save that sort of stuff in, say, digital archiving is getting to be more easy. So, in all honesty, if it gets to the point where we can actually start archiving, and then after like a console has been like dead for a generation, it's one of those cases where you could just actively be like, man, I'd really love to play, Beyond Good and Evil right now. You just literally, and if the company that actually if they're not actually making any money off Beyond Good and Evil right now, you literally go to like game preservation and just download it and play it. That'd be great.
That'd be cool.
Yes.
Because like you've got sites like the Abandonware sites, which is like just
Right.
loaded with an ungodly amount of games that can't legally be sold, aren't technically legal to download, but are technically there because nobody fucking owns them and nobody fucking cares.
Sadness.
Yeah.
It's just a
Left
shame that
behind.
like these companies buy up the shit and then they just let them die and rot.
I
It's
mean,
like,
Disney technically owns
Seriously,
Turok now.
From Software, what are you doing with Tenchu?
Yeah.
You made Sekiro. Supposed to be Tenchu, but they were like, nah.
why would we bring back a dead franchise?
We could just make a new IP.
Just call
for
it something different.
Yeah, we're just gonna, this
Come on.
is Sakurachu.
Sakurai Chu.
Sakurachu.
I choose you.
I will say one thing though. One of my favorite moments in any Souls-like game did happen in Sekiro.
What was that?
I climbed up to the roof of the area where the young master's in, and I just
They
heard.
could do that in Tenchu too.
No, but I just heard one of the kite people screaming before I'd ever even like laid eyes on one, and I'm just
Oh,
like,
no.
"What is that noise?" And then it just
no.
pounded into the ground and gets stabbed to death.
Sekiro has cliff racers.
Basically,
No, no.
like just comes in with a kite and just pal drives me into the ground.
No wonder I didn't play that game. It has freaking cliff racers in it. The
Oh,
bane of
no.
any Morrowind player's existence.
All right. Anybody who likes this rant, they're going to have to tell us that they like this rant in the comments. We're going to go ahead and try to do one of these once a week.
Are we?
Oh, yeah.
Can try, but it's not promised.
We're going to try.
Well, depends how schedules.
We're going to try so hard that my nipples are going to be hard.
They aren't already?
They are now.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you. I've been Justin. I've been Justin. Gopher.
He's been me and I've been him. We are.
I'm the only one who remain the same.
Okay, this is Trooper. That's Justin. That's Gopher.
I'm a gopher.
Who are you talking? What? They
What?
can't see who you're talking about.
They're gonna see who I'm talking about when I give them weird pictures of your face.
No!
Bye.
Bye. All right. Well.